welcome to your day off. My name is Corey. Of course, my best bud, Tony.
What's up, bro?
What's up, man?
Oh, man. Another great day.
Another great day in paradise.
Well, yeah, when you got Tim, it's paradise.
Tim is
this
paradise.
is paradise. That is
know,
right.
I got to tell you, this conversation that we're gonna have today, I'm really excited for, and I think it'll bring great value and answer a lot of questions that I think people have.
Yeah, it'll help people really achieve higher earnings if they follow Tim's strategy advice.
Sure, and not to get like bogged down by it. You know, I think it's easier than you might think. It's not easy, but I think it's easier than you might think.
Yeah, just a little organization.
That's it. So, Mr. Tim Fisk, welcome back to maybe 10 minutes with Tim, or maybe a lot longer, and your day off.
Hello there. How you guys doing?
Awesome.
Good, brother. How have you been?
I've been good. I've been, traveling, running around, talking to anybody that wants to listen.
Right.
Well, we want to listen. We definitely want to listen.
We'll listen any day.
Awesome. So
that's cool. So what do we? So we gave a little tease. Tell the listeners what we're talking about today.
Yeah, let's talk about what everybody's talking about. Let's talk about how to become a 100K hairstylist. I mean, I see it all over social media. People have programs about it. Our stylists are spending money to spend time with amazing educators and teachers. But how about we break it down here for your guests in 10 minutes or so?
I love it.
Yeah, I'd love to just talk to the listeners about how not easy, but how achievable, how possible it is for you to consider yourself being a six-figure earner and building real financial independence in our industry. I mean, this is why I really love the industry. I know that I can get up every day as a salon company owner, and I can work with my staff to help them better their best to achieve all of their financial goals and live the kind of beautiful life that they want to live. And in my salon, and I don't say this to brag, but just again to talk about how it's possible, I have 3 stylists that make 6 figures a year, and 2 of them did it before they were even 30 years old. So it's absolutely possible.
That's insane, right?
Wow.
What an amazing, just to be, I thought, when I graduated high school, I thought, man, if I had a job that just paid $20,000 a year, I'd be okay. Never thinking. And then, when you find this career, it's just literally there's no ceiling.
So you said you had 3 people in your salon that does it, and you should definitely be a proud papa. But is there, before we get into the actual, the mechanics or what it takes to make the $100,000, do you see a difference between those 3 as far as a drive than anybody else, or is it
what sets them apart? Yeah, what's not just the numbers, but what are they doing? What are they doing differently?
That's a great question. And, if I had a secret sauce, I'd bottle it. I don't even think it's that secret, actually. I think it's just like anything in life. These are people who are, first of all, they're career stylists. They're not hobby hairstylists, and they're not job hairstylists just over broke, right? They are career hairstylists that take themselves seriously. Well, take their careers seriously. They don't necessarily take themselves too seriously, which I like.
He has one that he's thinking of right now.
Right? Yeah. No, I mean, that's me too. I take what I do very seriously, but I don't take myself seriously. But no, they take what they do very seriously. They get up every day and they bring intention to their day and to their work. These are people that are not dialing it in, right? They're not showing up 5 minutes before their first guests arrive. They're showing up 15, 20, 30 minutes before their guests arrive. They're at a place in their career where they're servant leaders. They're actually passing on knowledge to others. They're able to take advantage of an associate program in my salon where they're working one-on-one with another set of hands. That allows them to work a little bit differently and earn a little bit more. Though I don't think you necessarily need to have that set up in order to earn 6 figures a year in our industry. But you do have to take what you do seriously. You do have to bring some intentionality into your every single day.
All right. Thank you.
That. Let's do it. So what are they doing to do it?
So, I mean, I think first of all, in order to achieve anything, you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan. You have to be able to work that plan. So what does $100,000 look like? And I was wondering if it would be okay to break down some numbers for you guys, just to kind of show the listeners that this is totally achievable if we just break it down into its little parts and figure out how to win the day.
Let's win the day, Tim.
Right. So, in my salon company, I'm going to talk from that point. I start my commissions at 40% and they go all the way up to 50%. But you can make 6 figures in my salon company at, I think, around 48%. I mean, you could do it at less, and you just have to have a higher average ticket. But at 48% is when I think you're really in the zone, and that's like a level 5 in my salon company. So I want to talk about 48% commission, and then we have to have a conversation about tips as well. So I've said this before, and my colleagues will say this till the cows come home. Tips are real income, guys. So I don't care what you spend them on. I don't care how you mitigate your tax liabilities. I don't care about any of those things. I'm not here to judge any of that, but I want you to be counting your tips. People that make 6 figures a year count every single penny of money that they earn, and tips are earnings.
Mm.
Don't hide it from yourself. I mean, and so in regards to tips, in my salon company, in my market, we have an average of around 20% in gratuities that are given to service providers. So I'm going to use the 20% as kind of the baseline. And I think that any salon company that's giving these super elevated experience, whether it's a salon company or a suite, independent, we're seeing those 20% tips. Now, you could do this at 15% tips, and if I have a little extra time, I could calculate that as well.
Let's go with 20% just because it makes the numbers easy too.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to start with 48% commission and 20% tips. And really what I'm looking for is I want you to goal around $12,500 a month in service sales. So service sales at $12,500. Let's break that down though, because I think it's more important to kind of look at what does $12,500 mean. So if you're working full-time, like in my salon company, that's around 20, 21 days, depending on the month and your schedule of when you're going to work. And that's 32 hours. We have 6-hour shifts, etc. So I'm not talking about breaking your back here, but like say you work 21 days out of the month. If we take that $12,500 and divide it up by 21 days, we're talking about $595 a day. That's all you have to do to be in the zone to make 6 figures a year. If you're seeing 5 guests a day, that's 25 guests a week, you need an average ticket of around $119, $120. So that's what good looks like in so much as that. In my salon company, that's a $53 women's haircut and a partial highlight of around $93, right? So those numbers should sound familiar to some of you and some of the listeners here. And I think that that's achievable with those prices and those numbers. So $595 day.
Love that.
Once we get to that, we're averaging at 48% commission around $6,000 a month in service commission. People are saying, well, if I'm at $6,000 a month at service commission times 12 months, Tim, that's only $72,000 a year. That's far away from a 6-figure salary there, 6-figure earning, 100K hairdresser. But what's missing?
The tips, man.
The tips. Guys, the tips. You're earning at 20% tips on that $595 a day. You're earning $2,500 a month in tips. That's $30,000 a year. Do you see why it's important that we count this?
Heck yeah, man.
Wow.
I get passionate about it because there's like money on the table. You know, we have that saying at Summit, it's not about the money, it's about the money. And what I always mean about that, and what I tell everybody that'll listen is, of course, I understand that you're there to serve your guests. You love being an artist, you're creative, you have these beautiful relationships, but you're not going to be on your deathbed wishing you'd worked one more day. $30,000 is $30,000 is a lot of money for you and your family. Let's count the money.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
Right?
So there you are, 72 plus 30. That doesn't even count any kind of retail commission or retail sales if you're owning your own suite. We're in the zone. We're at 102,000 right then and there.
So again, I can't calculate 48%, but I can calculate 50%. So, you know, if you're doing like essentially if you're doing between $140,000 and $150,000 in sales a year, you're in that $100,000 range.
Yeah, if you're at 50%, $12,000 a month, right?
Right.
So
that's so achievable in our industry. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, that's a $571 day as opposed to a $595 day. So even when we're looking at the difference in commissions, because I don't want anybody that's listening to this to go back to their salon company owner or even crunch the numbers in their own suite and be like, oh man, like I need more commission, right? It's not about that. We're really just turning the dial a little bit in regards to what the good day looks like. So the difference between 50% commission at 100K and 48% commission at 100K, it's only $20 a day.
Right. And 15% versus 20%, I think at 15%, you're still at like between 90 and 95,000.
Exactly.
Right. So you're still knocking on the door at 15% commission.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. So like, and then you just throw in the retail commission or the retail earnings and boom, you're there.
Yep. You're way there.
You're way there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The retail commission. Yeah. You're definitely there.
So now you've talked about, and Michael Cole certainly talks about, the big four all the time. Now you kind of see how it's so important, right? Like it could just be one more visit per client was going to get you over that edge, or, a little bit of retail is going to be there, or your add-ons. I mean, now it's starting to, like, for me at least, it's starting to get real clear. Like now you're fighting for nuance,
right,
to kind of get you over there, because we're only talking a few dollars here and a few dollars there to get you there.
I love that you said nuance. It's one of my favorite words. People make fun of me all the time, but what I really mean by that is like these are just little dials. We're turning little dials on our career here, and those dials are the big four: our average ticket, our rebook of our guests, and then the retail that we sell. Of course, making sure that we have enough guests that we see in our month, always looking to add new guests to our book. Those four things are what's going to get you to that $595 a day and to that six-figure income.
Dude, that's what just a couple like foil packs in the front of the head's going to get you,
right?
Yeah. A couple bucks there.
It's really crazy. Like if you think about it and you see 5 guests a day and you're adding $10 to your average ticket, that's $50 per day, and you're working 21 days a month, that's over $1,000 a month, or over $12,000 a year. If you're at 50% commission and 20% tips, that's basically 70% of that money that you're going to get. So you're actually giving yourself an $8,800 raise just by increasing your average ticket by $10.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's one of the big four, you guys. That's just one. We have 4 of them to get through, right? And I'm not going to drum through the math on all of that stuff. You can take one of my classes and I'll break it all down. Self-plug. We can break it all down through coaching and this is the other thing too. Guys, if you don't have a coach, go out there and get one. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a colleague, if it's a suite mate, if it's a mentor that you've been working with, somebody from your cosmetology school, or even Summit Salon Business Center. I think all of the best of the best, they all have coaches, and you deserve that kind of support system. You deserve that kind of support system at work, and you also deserve that kind of support system at home. So if you are one of those busy stylists, and I know I talk to them all the time, and it's a Monday and you're going out and you're supposed to be, going to a class, and here you are getting guff from your partner at home. Oh, why do you have to leave on your day off and go do this thing? You need to have a serious conversation with your partner at home about what's on the table. We need support both in the workplace and at home in order to be able to function at this high a level.
Preach it, brother.
I love that, man,
I talked to the stylist.
Now all of our listeners are getting divorced.
No. Have that honest conversation. Show them what's on the table, what the numbers are, right? Show them your tips. Maybe you've been keeping it from them for that long,
Now they're definitely getting divorced.
Right.
It's funny when you're thinking about other industries and people, like, maybe I'll just take banking for an example, and you see somebody that makes $100,000 in the banking world, and the way that they see themselves and what they've earned, what they've gained, what they've done for themselves and for their family from a professional standpoint. And then you look at somebody that's in our industry, people look at themselves so differently. I find that a lot of service providers, they don't give themselves the kind of credit that they deserve. And it's not just like a pat on the back, but it's also, acting professionally and being a professional every day, understanding that you're coming into this industry earning $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year. Act like that. Act like a professional. right? And honor what this industry has given you and consider passing it on to somebody else.
Love that.
I love that.
You know, we should all be coaches then, right?
Eventually, yeah, I think it's a great way to end, you know?
Legacy, brother.
True
Legacy.
that.
Exactly.
So let's get into it.
So, you know, honestly, we've talked about the big four. We talked about how we just have to turn the dial a little bit. You know, I want to just talk a little bit about making your plan, because everybody needs to have some sort of plan about how they're going to grow, but people don't necessarily know how to go about it. The first thing you have to do is you have to have some sort of baseline. And so I want you to look at the past year and what you've done in service sales for the past year, and I want you to break it down by month. I want you to break it down by month because we're going to set our goals based month over month. In other words, we're going to look at May of this year compared to May of last year, right? I don't want you to actually look at May and say, I need May to be better than April. I need April to be better than March, because our industry doesn't quite work that way. Certain months are just, you know, December, you can't beat December in January, right? It just doesn't happen. So we don't look at it that way. We look at January over January. And so once you've broken that down, then I want you to see, like, okay, how much did I earn? You know, I've talked to so many service providers, they don't even know what they made last year. I ask everybody that I talk to, do you know, what did you make last year? And they're like, I don't know. Right? You know, and I'm not going to put you guys on the spot, but but I will challenge you, if you don't have this number and we're done with this podcast, please, like, figure out how much exactly you made. Because what if you're just within spitting distance of 100K and you didn't even know it?
Right.
Right. So understand what you made last year, break down your sales, and then let's say, okay, if I'm at $80,000, how much more do I need? I need $20,000 more dollars, right? So if I need $20,000 more dollars and I'm making that 50% commission, then I know that I need to do like another $28,000 in sales, right? And if I look at that number, let's say it's a 15% increase from last year. So 28,000 is 15% more than what I did last year. I'm going to set a goal for myself every single month that's 15% more than that same month in the previous year.
Love that. And like on a daily basis, you know, you're talking, you know, $50 or $30 or something. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. That $595 number, if it's 15%, we're talking like $59, you know, that $65, right? And in some cases, it's not even a matter of getting a new client. It's just, what are you doing with your current clients?
That's it, right?
How are you rebooking your clients? Are you missing out on guests who are coming less times per year, you know?
Yeah, I mean, pre-book could do that, right? I mean, now you're talking about like one more appointment per year. I mean, at a $53 haircut was the example that you used. I mean, you're almost there if they're coming in one more time a year.
That's right.
Know,
that's
pre-books will take care of that.
Yeah, it's a face frame foil, you know?
I love it.
Makes it so achievable.
Yeah, right? Let's all go make 100K.
All of this is achievable. It's all achievable if you take what you do seriously, you bring some intention to your day. And again, consider having a coach, somebody to like bounce this off of, somebody to guide you, to hold you accountable, to show you just how easy it is to turn the dials on your career, turn the dials on the big four, and get to your next step and your next goal.
You know what though, Tim? I want to have like a it's going to be a comment, but maybe it turns into a conversation, and it's a tough one. And that's like, let's say you're at like 50,000 and you got to go another 50,000. Like you have to start on that $100,000 journey today. It might take you 2 years or 3 years, but if you never start that journey, you're never getting to 100K without planning it out. You know, so even if it's a 2-year thing, and like if you're 23 years old and you're making 100K at 25 or 26, trust me, that's success, and that's what success looks like.
That's right. And I think when we think about our lives, it's good to ground ourselves in some personal goals too. So, you know, maybe your personal goal is that you want to move out of the house. And in order to do that, you have to afford like the $750 in rent and the electric bill, et cetera. So you're going to need an extra $1,500 per month or another $18,000 a year. So like, just start there. And, you know, all of this money at the end of the day is not just to have money, right? Money doesn't make anybody happy, but money gives us choices. And so let's figure out what we're going to do with the money. And then we can claim victory when we do things, these benchmarks that we've achieved in our lives, whether it's moving out, taking a vacation, buying yourself a new car, whatever it is that you need.
So how can our listeners find out more about the Big Four, and then or find out how to find your classes?
Yeah, so, Summit Salon Business Center has comprehensive coaching and educational opportunities for service providers throughout our industry in every department, including people that work at the front desk and managers and salon company owners. So please visit us at summitsalon.com and click on programs. You can find all the different programs, including a full year calendar of the classes that we offer, which now is new. You can sort it by state. So you can actually see what's coming on in your market and when we're going to be in your town next.
Oh, that's smart. Mr. Tim Fisk, you're a rock star. We love you so much. And thank you again for joining us on almost 10 Minutes with Tim.
No, I'm so grateful to be here, guys. Thank you so much.
Hey, so there it is. Hey, this is a message that we've been trying to bring, I don't know, for the last couple months, actually since we started the podcast. Hey, so if you like the podcast or if you find that it's useful, please leave us a review, a 5-star review on iTunes. Leave us a rating and a review.
But if you don't like it, forget about it.
Yeah, totally forget about this message. We also want to thank Sarah and Blaine from Pretty Gritty. Sarah and Blaine, they are a band out of Portland, Oregon, and we just want to thank them very much for allowing us to use their song, Pleased to Meet You, on our podcast. That's cool. I think you can find, actually you can find their music on iTunes.
Peace and hair grease.